I am Naumann, and today I'm going to be teaching a practice called the inner smile. It is a Neidan ancient Taoist practice, and it is my favorite practice that I personally do, and I love to teach any opportunity that I get. We're going to be going through the 5 elements, through the 5 yin organs in Chinese medicine. Each one of them has a season, a color, a smell, a taste, an emotion related to it, as well as healing movements and sounds that will help move whatever it is that is brought up out of our body to help release for our healing. So I invite you to just settle into your body and get comfortable wherever you are, and turn your attention first to your breath, and just follow your inhale and exhale, noticing where you feel your breath in your body. If it's warm, if it's cool, if it's relaxed or labored. Just settling into your body, into this space for a little while. And then we're going to start working with the kidneys. So in your upper lower back, you have a left and a right, a yin and a yang kidney. And they are often depicted as black. My Qigong teacher taught this as the color of the ocean at midnight under a full moon. So there's this really beautiful iridescent deep blue color. So I want you to imagine that your kidneys are radiating this brilliant iridescent color of the ocean at midnight under a full moon. Noticing your kidneys as well as your urinary bladder system, this element of water, just noticing them radiating this beautiful color. They are the season of winter, the season of hibernation, of patience, of waiting. Their flavor is salty, and the season is winter. The emotion that we're working with here is fear. So I'd invite you to call to mind anything in your life you may be dealing with right now where you are looking at fear. That can sometimes come up as the sympathetic nervous system being lit up in fight or flight or freeze, almost a panic state. It can look many, many different ways, but just allow whatever that is a fear to just come up into your consciousness right now and just sit with it. Just smile at that fear. And then I would ask you to consider what would the opposite, or what would the healing of that fear look like? Many different answers here as well. Some would say love, some would say courage, some would say trust. No right or wrong answer, whatever it means to you. But maybe just try on those emotions instead, and just instead of running away or fighting or being frozen, just be with that emotion for a little bit and see how it feels. Knowing that you are safe, you are secure. In Chinese medicine, the meridians of the kidneys run from the sole of the foot, the bottom of the foot, called bubbling spring, and then they come up the inside of the legs all the way up into the kidney organs. And then the bladder goes from the outside of the pinky toe, the outside of the foot, up the back of the leg, and then up on both sides of the spine, all the way around the head to the inner campus of the eyes. So these are the meridians that we're working with, and this element of water, and this beautiful color of the ocean at midnight under a full moon. And then the inner smile practice is that you would just turn inwardly, close your eyes, or even imagine your eyes kind of dropping down into your body and inwardly smiling to your kidneys, to your urinary bladder system, with gratitude, with a thank you, that they are working optimally, separating the turbid from the clear, that you are getting all the fluids that you need, that they're nourishing every cell of your body. And just literally telling your kidneys and your bladder, thank you. Thank you for keeping me healthy. Thank you for working. Thank you for being a part of my body. Just thank you. And then we're going to move up to the lungs. You sit high up in the chest, and it's a season of autumn or of fall. They are brilliant white, like a diamond color. If you want to imagine just brilliant white color shining and radiating into or from your lungs, your pleura, your bronchi. The emotion out of balance here is grief or a sadness due to loss. And this could be not just a person, but a relationship, a pet, a job, a hope, a dream, a project. Any sadness due to loss, due to grief. The quality here is dryness, and it's expressed out through our skin, so through our pores. So we release our grief through sweat, through tears, and then the lungs are connected to the large intestine in Chinese medicine, so also through our bowels. So sometimes when we're having a big release of grief, then we can have a release that way as well. And then the lungs also obviously are connected to our breath. So just noticing your breath, your inhale and exhale. But that one single cycle of inhale, exhale is in itself a cycle of birth and death. We come into this life with our first inhalation and leave with our last exhalation. Our first inspiration, our expiration. And then as you're watching your breath, maybe notice the pause in between each breath. Really notice if you can feel your air, your lungs fill up with air, if you feel an expansion in all directions. And allowing, wherever you may be in your life right now, working with a sadness due to loss, working with grief, and just allowing that to bubble up just enough to be with it for a moment, and to use your breath to be with it. Maybe your tears, maybe you sweat, and to just be with it, knowing that the other side is acceptance. We're just working towards presence and acceptance with our breath. And inwardly smiling to your lungs, to your pleura, to your bronchi, to every cell of your body full of life-giving oxygen, and smiling and saying thank you. Thank you, lungs, for giving me life, giving me breath, giving me prana, giving me chi. Thank you to every cell of my body. Thank you for every breath in this life. And then we're going to move to under your right rib cage, to your liver. And it is a brilliant emerald green color, the season of spring, a season of new beginnings, of seeds that are sprouting and flowering and blossoming. The flavors are sour and fermented foods. And out of balance, the emotion here that we're working with is anger. So we can express that outwardly by lashing out or irritability or rage. And sometimes when it's focused inward, that can look like depression. And oftentimes this is due to a lack of forgiveness. And oftentimes it's a lack of forgiveness to ourselves. And the liver is paired with the gallbladder, and its emotions out of balance oftentimes are bitterness or resentment. So that's a lot of emotional content to consider. But see where in your life right now, if any of those resonate as something you're dealing with, is anger, bitterness, resentment, irritability, a lack of forgiveness. And I would offer you a practice here to work with that forgiveness, whether it's towards someone else or something you want to forgive yourself for right now, today. And that practice is called Ho'oponopono. And it has just 4 sentences, and we can add the 5th if it's appropriate, which is I forgive myself. So what you're saying is, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I forgive myself. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I forgive myself. One more time. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I forgive myself. The liver and the gallbladder are responsible for detoxifying our body. They're literally like a sponge, wringing things out that do not serve us, whether it's things we take in through food and drink, pesticides, herbicides, electromagnetic radiation, heavy metals, toxins, but also emotionally, particularly stress. The liver really takes a brunt of that. And it's constantly through these pathways like CYP 450 is one commonly known. It's just detoxifying our body all day long without us doing anything to help. Is getting rid of things that no longer serve us. And it's not something we need to be afraid of. As long as we are detoxifying our body, as long as we are drinking enough and peeing and pooping enough and sweating enough, like our body, as long as we're getting rid of things faster than we're taking them in, then we stay healthy. Our body is balanced, and the liver is largely to thank for that. Just all day long, helping to filter things out and keep us healthy. So really turning inwardly, smiling with gratitude, with a thank you to these organs who are working all day and all night long to keep us healthy. Imagining them radiating with a brilliant emerald green color, green like the spring of new beginnings. So of all of these things that we're letting go of, here's the place where we're making space for something new. So I'd even invite you to consider what is there that you would like to blossom in your life today, this week, this month, this year? What would you like to see grow? What are some things that you can do to help make that happen? So we kind of put that out there as we smile inwardly to our liver and gallbladder. And then we're going to move over on our left side, underneath our left rib cage, our spleen and our stomach and our pancreas, radiating with this brilliant yellow color. So it's even with the solar plexus, S-O-L, soul like the sun, solar plexus, brilliant yellow color. This is our digestive system. This is the season of summer. The flavor is sweetness. Out of balance, these emotions are over worry and overthinking. And oftentimes we notice this when it interrupts our sleep. If we have a hard time going to sleep, or maybe we go to sleep okay, but we wake up and we have a hard time going back to sleep. We also have correlation in our language with digestion and over worry, overthinking. Phrases like food for thought or let me chew on that idea for a little bit. Unlike the other organs that we were talking about, letting things go, this is about digesting, about integrating, about transforming and transporting the things which are nourishing to us. And so here I would encourage you and invite you to consider what things in your life do you find to be nourishing? What nurtures you? It can be things that you consume, like what you like to eat and drink, but also the things you like to listen to, the things you like to read, music, the company that you keep. What things do you like to smell? What fabrics do you like touching your body? What are the things that you see when you first wake up in the morning? Are the last things you see before you go to sleep? What are the things in your car or in your office where you work? In so much as you have a choice in some of these things, what have you chosen or what would you choose different that would help edify you and nourish you and nurture you? It's a beautiful practice, beautiful things to consider. Just think about what those things would be and how you can bring more of that into your life right now. And then we're inwardly smiling to our stomach, our spleen, our pancreas, our entire digestive system with gratitude, with a thank you, that our gut is sealed, that we are absorbing all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients we're taking in, that we are integrating all the wisdom and knowledge that we are exposed to, and smiling with a thank you, radiating this golden light with a thank you. And then we finish up at the heart up high. It's a brilliant ruby red color. The season of late summer. Here we're in Austin, Texas, so this is many, many months of the year where it's over 100 degrees. But if you think about cultures around the equator, they eat spicy food, so the flavor here is bitter or spicy. And one of the reasons, according to this medicine, that spicy foods are eaten is because it induces a sweat. So it helps the body to cool off. So here we're working with the element of fire. You can think of it as a triangle pointed upward. And spicy foods and heat, you want to help cool the body off. Or bitter flavors also are part of this late summer fire element. And we're working with the blood, and so we can think of this also like with ancestry or epigenetics, both what comes after us or what came before us, our great-great-great-grandchildren, our great-great-great-grandparents, what comes through our bloodline or You could use the word karma depending on how you're using that. These things would apply here in the blood. There's many cultures that believe spirits travel in the blood, and that's something that's used a lot in this medicine. And so when working with the heart, we're talking about the veins, the arteries, the capillaries, your red blood cells. All of this element, this brilliant red color. Emotion out of balance, the texts will call it overjoy. I think in our culture, we would maybe say like a type A personality, or trying to prove yourself and always achieving, just never giving up. That persistence that can cause harm because it's too much fire. So in the practice of Qigong, and this is a Qigong practice, the character of Qi in Chinese is the steam coming off a bowl of rice. So we're balancing the fire and the water to create steam. So not so much water that we drown it out, and not so much fire that we burn everything up, but this perfect balance of Kan and Li, of fire and water. We could keep going on and on with yin and yang and feminine, masculine, and so forth. But here we're really talking about the balance of fire and water, of the heart and the kidneys, to create steam. We need both. We need all of the elements. So emotional content here, I would offer as a balance contentment. So here the balance in the heart is loving kindness, it's self-compassion, and contentment. And I would think of contentment as everything perfectly as it is. So one way of describing suffering is wanting things to be anything other than they are right now. So to be content is to say, I have enough, I am enough. To find gratitude in our circumstances, no matter what they are. There are so many extraordinary examples of this throughout our history that we can learn from. And I also want to offer here in this heart element the idea of love. And we don't have enough words in the English vocabulary to really capture all the different things that love means. But here is not so much about giving love or receiving love. It's about being love. It's the act of radiating love itself. It's about our life, every breath being a thank you, and our very presence coming into our room radiating love. So our very presence is healing for other people. That is one of the beautiful parts of this practice, which you can do over and over and over and always glean something new from. To really sit in your heart center and give yourself compassion and loving kindness and contentment. And the more we're truly sitting in that for ourselves, the easier it is to just naturally radiate that to the world around us and to truly embody these qualities. So smiling inwardly to our heart, to our little heart, our veins, our arteries, our capillaries, every red blood cell of our body, radiating love, sending gratitude, an inner smile. Every breath, thank you. Our very beingness radiating love. And so I'll close this practice with a blessing for us. May the thoughts of our mind, the words from our lips, and the intentions from our heart, may they be a blessing for ourselves as well as to others. And may we each come to know our radiant true nature of boundless peace and boundless love.